Before we begin, a brief disclaimer. The information provided in this video is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended to be a substitute for professional financial or legal advice. Always seek the advice of a qualified professional with any questions you may have regarding a major financial decision. This presentation does not constitute an endorsement of any specific company or service. Picture this. It's 6 in the morning. The fluorescent lights of the airport terminal are humming, and you're standing in a security line that snakes back so far, you can't even see the TSA agent. You've already been here for an hour. Your flight is delayed. A little red notification on your phone that sealed your fate. The most important meeting of your year, the one you've been preparing for 6 months, starts in 3 hours, and you're about to miss it. You're losing control, at the mercy of a system that sees you as just another ticket number. You feel the stress, the frustration, the sheer inefficiency of it all. Now picture this instead. It's 8:45 a.m. Your car pulls directly onto the tarmac, stopping just feet from a sleek, waiting aircraft. The door opens and the pilot greets you by name. There's no line, no terminal, no stress. You hand your bag to the crew, walk up a few short steps, and enter a quiet, comfortable cabin that is yours and yours alone. 10 minutes after arriving at the airport, you're in the air. You're sipping fresh coffee, connected to high-speed Wi-Fi, and putting the final touches on your presentation. You're in complete control. You're not just going to make your meeting. You're going to arrive prepared, relaxed, and ready to win. For most people, that second scenario sounds like a fantasy, a world reserved for billionaires, celebrities, and titans of industry. But what if I told you that this world is more accessible than you have ever been led to believe? What if I told you that for certain trips, the cost of chartering that entire private jet can be shockingly close to buying 4 or 5 first-class commercial tickets? What if I told you that the biggest barrier to entry isn't your bank account? It's your mindset. Over the next 10 parts, we are going to pull back the curtain on one of the most misunderstood and gate-kept industries in the world, private jet charter. This isn't about just showing you cool planes and luxurious interiors. This is a masterclass. We are going to give you the exact playbook for leveraging private aviation as a strategic tool for your business and your life. We will demystify the entire process, from finding a reputable broker, to understanding the different categories of aircraft, to decoding a charter quote so you never overpay, and knowing exactly what to expect on the day of your flight. By the end of this series, you won't just understand how it works. You will have the confidence and the knowledge to make your first charter flight a reality, avoiding the common pitfalls that trip up first-timers. The first thing you have to understand is that private aviation isn't about luxury. That's the byproduct. At its core, it's about one thing: time. Time is the only asset you can't make more of. While the rest of the world is losing hours, even days, to the friction of commercial travel, the driving to the airport, the parking, the check-in, the security, the boarding, the delays, the deplaning, the baggage claim, private aviation allows you to reclaim that time and reinvest it where it matters most. Imagine needing to visit 3 different cities in 2 days for critical business meetings. On a commercial airline schedule, that's a logistical nightmare. It's probably impossible. You'd be rushing, stressed, and your performance in those meetings would suffer. On a private charter, that's just a Tuesday. You fly on your schedule to the airports closest to your actual destination, many of which commercial airlines can't even access. You turn the aircraft into your private office, your conference room, your place to decompress between high-stakes encounters. The jet isn't the product. The product is unparalleled efficiency. It's a productivity multiplier. So let's shatter the biggest myth right now. You do not need to own a private jet to fly on one. In fact, for the vast majority of people, even the very wealthy, owning a jet is a terrible financial decision. The purchase price is just the beginning. The costs for maintenance, crew, hangar space, insurance, and management are astronomical. It's like buying an entire cruise ship for a weekend fishing trip. The secret, the access point for smart travelers, is the charter market. Think of it like the world's most exclusive Uber. You pay for the specific trip you need when you need it. You get all the benefits of private flight without any of the burdens of ownership. Someone else owns the asset, someone else manages the crew and the maintenance. You simply book the aircraft for your mission. This on-demand model is what has blown the doors of this industry wide open. But where do you even start? If you Google private jet charter, you're hit with a tidal wave of slick websites, confusing jargon, and vague promises. You'll see terms like empty legs, jet cards, fractional ownership, and a dizzying array of aircraft types. Turboprops, very light jets, midsize, super midsize, heavy jets. It's intentionally confusing. It's designed to be opaque, to keep you on the outside looking in. We're going to change that. The first step, and the most important lesson in this entire series, is a mental one. You have to stop thinking about the cost of the flight and start calculating the cost of your time. How much is 1 hour of your productive, focused time worth? $1,000? $5,000? Now, how many of those hours do you lose on a typical commercial travel day? 6? 8? 10? Suddenly, a $10,000 charter flight that saves you an entire day and allows you to close $1 million deal doesn't seem so expensive. It's an investment, not an expense. You don't buy a drill because you want a drill. You buy a drill because you want a hole. You don't charter a jet because you want a fancy flight. You charter it for what it enables you to accomplish. Think about the other hidden costs of commercial travel. The lack of privacy. You can't have a confidential business conversation in a crowded airport lounge or sitting next to a stranger on a plane. The security risk. High-profile individuals are exposed targets in public terminals. The physical and mental drain. Arriving at a critical event already exhausted from the battle of modern air travel puts you at a significant disadvantage. Private charter eliminates all of this. It's a secure, private, and controlled environment from the moment you arrive at the private terminal, known as an FBO or fixed-base operator. This is the parallel universe of air travel. While thousands of people are navigating the chaos of the main terminal, you're in a quiet, comfortable lounge, and often you're walking from your car to the plane in less than 15 minutes. The entire experience is designed around efficiency, privacy, and your schedule. The flight plan is built for you. If your meeting runs late, the plane waits. If you need to add a stop, the plan changes. It's a level of flexibility and control that is simply impossible in the commercial world. This is the fundamental value proposition. It's about transforming travel from a necessary evil that drains your resources into a powerful strategic tool that amplifies your effectiveness. It's about buying back your most valuable asset, your time. So, the question is no longer, can I afford to fly private? The question is, can I afford not to? Now that you understand the why, it's time to get into the how. How do you actually book a charter? Who do you call? What are the key differences between a broker and an operator? And what is the single most important question you need to ask to ensure your flight is safe? That is the critical foundation we are laying in the very next part. So you've made the decision. You're ready to trade the terminal for the tarmac. The question is, what's the first step? It's not as simple as opening an app and booking a flight. The world of private aviation has its own gatekeepers, its own language. Your entry point will almost always be one of two entities: a charter broker or a direct air carrier, also known as an operator. Understanding the difference between these two isn't just industry jargon. It is the single most critical distinction you can make for the cost, convenience, and ultimate safety of your flight. Think of it like this. An operator is like a home builder. They own the assets, the planes. They employ the construction crew, the pilots, the maintenance technicians, the flight attendants. They are directly responsible for the final product, from the foundation to the roof. They have an FAA-issued air carrier certificate, which is essentially their license to build and sell you a safe, legal flight. When you deal directly with an operator, you are talking to the source. A broker, on the other hand, is like a real estate agent. They don't own the houses, but they have access to the entire market. They know which builders have what inventory, who has the best quality, and where the best deals are. A great broker has deep relationships with a vast network of operators. Their job is to listen to your needs. You want 4 bedrooms, a pool, and a good school district, and then go out and find the perfect property for you. In aviation terms, you tell them you need to fly 6 people from New York to Miami for a weekend, and they find the right jet from the right operator at the right price. So which one is better? There's no single right answer because it depends entirely on your priorities. Let's start with the operators. The biggest advantage of going direct is transparency and control. You are speaking directly to the company that is responsible for your flight. You know their call sign, you know their safety record, and you can ask specific questions about their pilots and their maintenance procedures. There is no middleman. This can be reassuring, especially for first-time flyers. The downside: an operator's world is limited to their own fleet. If they only own and operate mid-size jets, but your trip really only requires a light jet, they might try to upsell you into their larger, more expensive aircraft. Or if all their planes are booked, they simply can't help you. You'd have to start your search all over again with another operator. Now let's look at brokers. The primary advantage here is access and expertise. A good broker has the entire charter market at their fingertips. They can source dozens of quotes from different operators in minutes, creating a competitive environment that often leads to better pricing for you. They're aircraft agnostic. Their goal isn't to sell you a specific plane. It's to solve your specific travel problem. If your original aircraft choice has a last-minute mechanical issue, which happens, a great broker will have a backup plane sourced and ready to go before you even know there's a problem. The potential downside? You're adding a layer between you and the aircraft operator. This is where reputation becomes everything. A subpar broker might not have strong relationships, might not vet operators properly, or might not be transparent about who you're actually flying with. This brings us to the single most important question you need to ask, regardless of whether you're talking to a broker or an operator. It's the question that cuts through all the noise and gets to the heart of what matters: safety and legality. Before you even discuss price, before you talk about catering, you must ask this: who is the direct air carrier operating this flight? And can you provide me with their FAA air carrier certificate number? Let me repeat that. Who is the direct air carrier operating this flight? And can you provide me with their FAA air carrier certificate number? Why is this phrase so powerful? Because it unlocks everything. A legitimate charter flight in the United States must be operated by a company that holds a Part 135 air carrier certificate, issued by the Federal Aviation Administration. If you're talking to a broker, they aren't the operator. They are arranging the flight on your behalf. They must, by law, disclose who the actual Part 135 operator is. If you're talking to an operator, they should be able to instantly give you their own certificate name and number. Any hesitation, any vague answer to this question is a massive red flag. It's the aviation equivalent of a surgeon refusing to tell you which hospital they're licensed to operate in. You walk away immediately. So what is this Part 135 I keep mentioning? It's not just a number. It is your shield. The federal aviation regulations are divided into different parts. You have Part 91, which governs general aviation. Think a private owner flying their own plane for fun. Then you have Part 121, which governs the major airlines, the Deltas, the Americans, the Uniteds of the world, with their incredibly strict rules for scheduled service. Part 135 sits in between. It's the rulebook specifically for on-demand, non-scheduled air transportation. It's what makes charters safe. A Part 135 certificate is incredibly difficult and expensive to obtain and maintain. It dictates everything: mandatory pilot training and recurrent testing, strict flight and duty time limits to prevent fatigue, higher standards for aircraft maintenance and inspections, and the requirement for a director of operations, a director of maintenance, and a chief pilot to oversee the entire organization. When you fly on a Part 135 certificated aircraft, you are flying under a proven, federally mandated system of safety. This is crucial because there's a dark side to private aviation, the world of illegal charters. These are often operated under Part 91, the rules for private, non-commercial flights. It might be a wealthy individual who owns a jet and thinks, hey, I can make some money on the side by flying people around. They might offer you a flight for a fraction of the cost of a legitimate charter. Sounds tempting. It is also incredibly dangerous. A Part 91 flight does not have the same safety oversight. The pilot's training isn't under the same scrutiny. The maintenance standards aren't as rigorous. The crew isn't subject to the same rest requirements. There's no FAA-approved operational control system watching over the flight. You are, in effect, just a guest in a private owner's car. The problem is, that car is a multi-ton, 500-mile-per-hour machine flying at 40,000 feet. The risk you unknowingly take on is catastrophic. The FAA actively hunts for and prosecutes illegal charter operators, but they still exist, preying on uninformed customers looking for a deal. Your defense against this is that one simple question: a legitimate operator will be proud to give you their certificate information. You can even look it up in the FAA database to verify it. It's your ultimate peace of mind. Now, beyond the simple broker versus operator model, you'll also hear about jet cards and membership programs. Think of these as a different way to buy. Instead of chartering one trip at a time, you're essentially buying flight time in bulk, pre-purchasing 25, 50, or 100 hours on a specific category of jet. These programs offer convenience and fixed pricing, but under the hood, most of them function as a sophisticated brokerage. They utilize a network of premium Part 135 operators to fulfill their members' flights. The same rules apply. The safety of the entire system still rests on that Part 135 foundation. So you've navigated the first crucial step. You understand the difference between a broker and an operator. You're armed with the single most important question to ensure your flight is both safe and legal. You know to demand the identity of the Part 135 operator. You're ready to make the call. But what do you ask for? The world of private jets is a universe of different sizes, speeds, and capabilities. There are turboprops, light jets, midsize, super midsize, heavy jets, and ultra-long-range aircraft. Choosing the right one isn't just about luxury. It's about a concept the industry calls mission profile. You wouldn't use a sports car to haul lumber, and you wouldn't take a cargo truck to a racetrack. The same logic applies with even higher stakes in aviation. How do you match the perfect aircraft to your specific trip? How do you avoid paying for a massive intercontinental jet when all you need is a quick regional hop? Next, we're opening up the hangar doors to give you the ultimate guide to the different classes of private jets, so you can speak the language and choose not just the best plane, but the right plane. Alright, let's throw open those hangar doors. When you think private jet, you probably picture one specific type of plane. But the world of private aviation is as diverse as the world of cars. You wouldn't take a Ferrari on a camping trip, and you wouldn't enter a Lamborghini in a cross-country trucking race. The same principle applies here. Choosing the right aircraft is the single most important decision you'll make, dictating everything from your budget to your comfort to where you can even land. Let's start at the foundation, the entry point into private air travel: turboprops and very light jets, or VLJs. Now, don't let the word propeller fool you. A modern turboprop, like the legendary King Air 350, isn't your grandfather's rickety crop duster. It's powered by a jet turbine engine that spins a propeller. Think of it as a jet engine using a different method to create thrust. They are incredibly reliable, fuel-efficient, and are the undisputed champions of the short haul. Their superpower? Runways. A turboprop can get into thousands of smaller regional airports that bigger jets can't even dream of. This is your key to unlocking incredible convenience. Need to get from Dallas to a remote ranch in West Texas for a weekend? Or from Boston to a small airstrip on Nantucket, bypassing all the ferry chaos? This is the tool for that job. Inside, you'll find a comfortable, pressurized cabin, typically seating 4 to 8 passengers in a club-style arrangement. It's perfect for trips under 2 hours, offering a massive upgrade in time and convenience over driving or commercial flights. Sitting right alongside the turboprop is its cousin, the very light jet. Think of the Embraer Phenom 100 or the Honda Jet. These are the sports cars of the sky. They swap propellers for pure jet engines, offering a boost in speed and a quieter, smoother ride. They carry a similar number of passengers, usually 4 or 5, and are designed for those same short to medium range missions. They are sleek, modern, and incredibly efficient. The trade-off? They often need a bit more runway than a turboprop, but they'll get you from Scottsdale to Vegas or Atlanta to Miami faster, and with a little more style. For both of these categories, the lavatory situation can be cozy. Often it's a non-enclosed seat, sometimes with a privacy curtain. It's there for emergencies, but it's not the main feature. These planes are about getting you from point A to point B, regionally, with maximum efficiency. Now, let's take a step up into the most popular charter category in the world: the light jet. This is the workhorse of the industry, the equivalent of a luxury sedan like a Mercedes S-Class. We're talking about iconic aircraft like the Cessna Citation CJ3 or the Learjet 75. Here things start to get more serious. The range extends, pushing up to about 3, maybe 4 hours of flight time, comfortably connecting cities like New York and Chicago, or Los Angeles and Denver. Passenger capacity climbs to a solid 6 to 8 people. But the real game changer in this category is the cabin experience. You get more legroom, more shoulder room, and critically, you almost always get a fully enclosed private lavatory. That alone is a massive upgrade in comfort and dignity for you and your guests. While you might still have to duck your head slightly when moving around the cabin, the feeling is one of polish and professionalism. This is the jet for taking a small team to a crucial business meeting, a family on a ski trip to Aspen, or a couple for a long weekend getaway. It strikes the perfect balance between operational cost, speed, and comfort for the vast majority of domestic trips. It's no surprise it's the backbone of the charter world. But what if you need to cross the country? What if you need more space, more comfort, and the ability to truly stand up and stretch your legs? Welcome to the mid-size jet category. This is where private aviation starts to feel less like a mode of transport and more like a destination in itself. The key phrase here is stand-up cabin. For anyone over 6 feet tall, this is a revelation. Being able to walk from your seat to the galley or the lavatory without crouching transforms the entire experience. Aircraft like the Hawker 800 XP or the Citation Latitude dominate this space. They are built for transcontinental range, meaning they can typically fly from New York to LA or Seattle to Miami without stopping to refuel, depending on winds and passenger load. The passenger count is similar to a light jet, usually around 8 people, but those 8 people have significantly more room to breathe. You'll also find a more substantial galley, allowing for better food and drink service, and often, a dedicated flight attendant can be added to the trip to cater to your needs. This is the flying boardroom. It's the perfect platform for a team to work, negotiate, and prepare for a meeting en route, landing refreshed and ready to go. The baggage compartment is also larger, so everyone can bring their golf clubs. If the midsize jet is the transcontinental workhorse, the next step up, the super midsize jet, is that same workhorse but with a shot of adrenaline and a first-class upgrade. This category is all about enhanced performance and luxury. Think of the Bombardier Challenger 350 or the Gulfstream G280, two of the best-selling and most requested private jets on the planet for good reason. They fly faster, higher, and farther than their mid-sized counterparts. That New York to LA trip? A super mid can do it with ease against any headwind, with a full cabin of passengers and their luggage. The cabins are wider, quieter, and more luxuriously appointed. The technology is state-of-the-art, with better Wi-Fi, bigger entertainment screens, and more advanced cabin management systems. They can comfortably seat 8 to 10 passengers, and the range starts to creep into the intercontinental territory, easily connecting the US with Canada, Mexico, and the Caribbean. This is the jet for when you want speed, range, and comfort without compromise. It's the perfect blend of a productive office environment and a relaxing lounge, ensuring you arrive at your destination with an undeniable competitive advantage. Finally, we arrive at the top of the pyramid: heavy jets and ultra-long-range aircraft. These are the flagships, the floating penthouses, the absolute pinnacle of private aviation. When you see a private jet in a movie, this is probably what you're looking at. We're talking about the Gulfstream G650, the Bombardier Global 7500, or the Dassault Falcon 8X. These are not just planes, they are statements. Their primary mission is global travel. They can connect almost any 2 cities on the planet, flying for 14, 15, even 16 hours non-stop. New York to Dubai, London to Singapore, LA to Tokyo. This is their playground. Inside, you're not in a cabin. You're in a multi-zone living space. It's common to have 3 or 4 distinct areas: a club section for meetings, a conference area for dining, and a private stateroom with a bed that converts for a full night's sleep. These jets carry 12 to 16 passengers in absolute comfort, always attended by at least 1, often 2 flight attendants. The galleys are gourmet kitchens, capable of producing multi-course meals. The lavatories are spacious, often with a second one for the crew. The Wi-Fi is the fastest in the sky, and everything is designed to combat jet lag, with lower cabin altitudes and fresh air circulation systems. This is the ultimate tool for global business and personal travel, where time is the most valuable asset, and arriving rested and prepared is not a luxury, it's a necessity. From the nimble turboprop hopping into a mountain airstrip to the globe-spanning heavy jet, each class of aircraft is a specific tool for a specific mission. Understanding the difference is the first step to mastering the art of private travel. It's about matching the machine to the mission, ensuring you never overpay for a plane you don't need, and never compromise on a flight that demands more. So now you can talk the talk. You know the difference between a light jet and a super mid. You've got the aircraft sorted. But how do you actually book one? What's the secret language of charter brokers? And what's the crucial difference between on-demand charter, a jet card, and fractional ownership? That's where the money is saved, and the real power is unlocked. And it's exactly what we're breaking down next. Alright, let's peel back the curtain. This is the moment where you go from a passenger to a player. Understanding these 3 doors, on-demand, jet card, and fractional ownership, is like knowing the difference between renting a car for a day, leasing it for a year, or buying a stake in the entire dealership. Each one serves a radically different purpose, and choosing the wrong one is the fastest way to burn a mountain of cash. Let's start with the gateway, the one most people walk through first: on-demand charter. Think of this as the Uber Black of the skies. You have a need right now. You want to go from New York to Miami for a weekend. You call a broker, or use an app and say, "Find me a jet." The broker then goes out to the open market, a massive swirling ecosystem of thousands of planes owned by different individuals and companies, and finds the best available option for your specific trip at that specific time. You get a quote, you approve it, you fly. Simple. The beauty of on-demand is its absolute freedom. There are no upfront costs, no long-term commitments, no membership fees. You pay for what you use when you use it. One week you might need a light jet for a quick business trip for 2. The next month you might need a heavy jet to take 10 people to Europe. On-demand gives you the flexibility to choose the perfect tool for the job, every single time. It's pure, unadulterated access without the strings. But that freedom comes with a price, and that price is volatility. Because you're playing in the live, open market, you are subject to the laws of supply and demand in their most brutal form. Trying to book a jet to Aspen a week before Christmas? That's the equivalent of trying to get an Uber in Times Square on New Year's Eve. Prices will skyrocket. Availability will plummet. This is what brokers call peak day travel. And it's where on-demand customers can get hammered. What cost you $30,000 in October might cost you $60,000 in December. You also have less consistency. You might fly on a brand new Gulfstream one day, and a 10-year-old Learjet the next. The crew is different every time. For the occasional user, flying less than, say, 25 hours a year, this is almost always the most cost-effective way to fly. It's the perfect entry point. But once you start flying more frequently, the unpredictability of pricing and the hassle of vetting a new aircraft and crew for every single trip starts to wear thin. You start craving consistency. You start craving predictability. And that's when you start looking behind door number 2. Welcome to the world of jet cards. If on-demand is Uber, a jet card is like having a high-end, prepaid debit card with a concierge attached. Instead of chartering trip by trip, you pre-purchase a block of flight hours, usually in 25, 50, or 100-hour increments. You're not buying a specific plane. You're buying guaranteed access to a certain category of aircraft, light, midsize, super midsize, at a fixed, locked-in hourly rate. Suddenly, the volatility is gone. You know that for the next 25 hours of flying, your midsize jet is going to cost you, for example, $11,000 per hour, period. It doesn't matter if it's a Tuesday in April or the Friday before the Super Bowl. Your rate is locked. The second major advantage is guaranteed availability. Most jet card programs guarantee you an aircraft with as little as 24 or even 10 hours notice. The frantic search is over. You make one call or send one text, and your jet is secured. This is a massive leap in convenience and peace of mind. You're no longer just a customer. You're a member. You get a consistent service standard, streamlined booking, and the financial predictability that on-demand charter simply can't offer. But here's the trade-off. You're paying a premium for that predictability. The fixed hourly rate on a jet card is almost always higher than the average on-demand rate for the same aircraft. You're paying an insurance policy against price spikes. You also have to come up with a significant chunk of change up front. A 25-hour card on a light jet can start around $150,000, and it goes up steeply from there. You're parking a huge amount of capital with a company, and you need to be absolutely certain that company is financially stable. And you have to read the fine print. Does the rate include the 7.5% federal excise tax? What about fuel surcharges? Many programs have clauses that allow them to add these on, which can dramatically change your all-in cost. A jet card is the perfect solution for someone flying between 25 and 50 hours a year, who values convenience and predictability above getting the absolute lowest price on every single flight. But then there's another level. For some, even the consistency of a jet card isn't enough. They don't just want a guaranteed jet. They want their jet. They want the same pilots, the same cabin configuration, the same everything every single time they fly. They want the experience of ownership, without the nightmare logistics of actually owning and managing a $50 million asset. This leads them to the final door. Fractional ownership. This is the deep end of the pool. Fractional ownership is exactly what it sounds like. You are buying an actual deeded share of a specific serial numbered aircraft. You're not buying hours, you're buying equity. A typical entry-level share is 1/16, which entitles you to 50 hours of flight time per year. If you buy a 1/8 share, you get 100 hours. You are now a part owner. The benefits are immense. You have the full power of a massive fleet at your disposal. If your specific aircraft is down for maintenance, the company seamlessly provides an identical one from their fleet. You often get interchange rights, allowing you to trade hours in your jet for hours in a larger or smaller aircraft within the fleet, giving you flexibility. From a financial standpoint, you can depreciate your asset, offering potential tax advantages that are simply non-existent with charter or jet cards. And the service is unparalleled. It's the closest you can get to having your own flight department without spending tens of millions on the plane and millions more each year on crew, hangar space, insurance, and maintenance. But the commitment is staggering. First, there's the acquisition cost. A 1/16 share of a new jet can easily run you $1 million or more. And that's just to get in the door. Then, every single month you pay a substantial monthly management fee. This covers the pilot's salaries, hangar costs, insurance, all the fixed costs of keeping the plane ready to go. We're talking $10,000, $20,000, even $30,000 a month whether you fly or not. And then, on top of all that, you still pay a fixed hourly rate for every hour you're actually in the air to cover fuel and maintenance. You're typically locked into a contract for 3 to 5 years. Getting out early is incredibly difficult and expensive. Fractional is for the truly heavy user, the individual or corporation flying 50, 100 or more hours per year, for whom the consistency of ownership is the #1 priority and the multi-million-dollar commitment is a justifiable business expense. So you have 3 paths: on demand, total flexibility, total volatility; the jet card, predictability and convenience at a premium; fractional ownership, the pinnacle of consistency, with a massive capital commitment. Each one is a tool designed for a different job. The savvy flyer doesn't just pick one. They understand the entire toolbox and know precisely which one to pull out for any given mission. You've chosen your path: on demand, jet card, or fractional. You've run the numbers. You think you know the price. But you're wrong. Because every one of these options has a shadow side. A labyrinth of fine print, hidden fees, and contractual traps designed to extract maximum value from the unprepared. And the most notorious of these is a 5-figure surprise that can appear on your invoice out of nowhere. A single word that can derail your entire budget: de-icing. Before you ever sign a contract or book a flight, you need to understand how to anticipate, negotiate, and fight these fees. And we're about to show you exactly how they work and how to protect yourself. De-icing is the silent killer of charter budgets. It's the monster hiding under the bed of private aviation, and it can turn a dream trip into a financial nightmare with a single invoice. Imagine this: you've just had the perfect ski weekend in Aspen. The flight was flawless, the service impeccable. You're back home glowing, telling your friends how seamless it all was. Then a week later, an updated invoice arrives in your inbox. You open it and your heart sinks. There's an extra charge, a line item you don't recognize, for $22,000. $22,000 for something called de-icing services. You weren't warned. It wasn't in the quote. And now you're on the hook for the price of a brand new car, all because of some frozen water. This isn't an exaggeration. This happens all the time. De-icing is one of the most misunderstood and financially dangerous variables in the entire charter industry. But what is it, really? And why does it cost so much? First, let's be crystal clear. De-icing is non-negotiable. It is a matter of life and death. Even a thin layer of frost, no thicker than a piece of sandpaper, can disrupt the smooth flow of air over the wing. This disruption reduces the wing's ability to generate lift by as much as 30% and increases drag by 40%. In the critical moments of takeoff, that is a catastrophic failure waiting to happen. The Federal Aviation Administration has what's called the clean aircraft concept. It means that no aircraft can attempt to take off with any frost, ice, or snow adhering to its wings, propellers, or control surfaces. The final decision rests with the pilot in command, and no pilot, absolutely no pilot, will ever risk the lives of their passengers and crew to save a client a few $1,000s. They will always, 100% of the time, choose to de-ice if there is even a shadow of a doubt. So, if it's a mandatory safety procedure, why isn't it just included in the price? Because it's completely unpredictable. A broker can't quote you for a blizzard that might happen 3 days from now. It's the ultimate variable cost, dictated entirely by Mother Nature. And the cost itself is a perfect storm of expensive components. Let's break down that $22,000 bill. First, you have the fluid itself. This isn't just windshield washer fluid. It's a highly specialized viscous chemical called propylene glycol, mixed with corrosion inhibitors and other proprietary agents. There are 2 main types. Type 1 is a heated, thin fluid used to break the bond of existing ice and snow. Think of it as the cleaning agent. Then there's Type 4, a much thicker, green gooey fluid that's applied after Type 1. Its job is to stick to the wings and prevent new ice from forming for a certain period of time, known as holdover time. This fluid is incredibly expensive. Depending on the airport and the time of year, it can cost anywhere from $30 to well over $100 per gallon. A mid-sized jet like a Citation XLS might need 200 gallons. A larger, heavy jet like a Gulfstream G650 that's been sitting in a snowstorm could require 500 gallons or more. Do the math. We're already talking tens of thousands of dollars just for the liquid. Next, you're paying for the delivery system. The de-icing truck is a complex, expensive piece of machinery, sometimes costing over $500,000. The airport or the fixed base operator, the FBO, has to buy, maintain, and staff these trucks. They pass that cost directly on to you in the form of service fees and equipment charges. Finally, there's labor. You're paying for trained and certified technicians to operate that machinery, often in the middle of the night in freezing, miserable conditions. And here's the kicker: location, location, location. De-icing at a small, regional airport in a temperate climate is one thing. But at a high-demand, exclusive mountain airport like Telluride or Jackson Hole during a blizzard on a holiday weekend, it's pure supply and demand. The FBOs there have a captive audience. Everyone needs to de-ice, and they are the only game in town. They can, and they will, charge a massive premium. That's how a simple safety procedure balloons into a five-figure surprise. So how do you protect yourself from this budget-busting monster? You can't control the weather, but you absolutely can control your preparation. The number one, most effective weapon in your arsenal is the hangar. The single best way to avoid a de-icing bill is to prevent the aircraft from getting covered in ice in the first place. When you book a trip to a cold weather destination, you must insist that your broker get a quote for and reserve a heated hangar for the aircraft while it's on the ground. Yes, a hangar costs money. It might be $500, $1,000, or even $2,000 a night. And many first-time flyers will balk at that. They'll say, "Why would I pay an extra $1,000 a night just to park the plane indoors?" The answer is simple. Because you're not just paying for parking. You are buying insurance. You are paying a predictable fixed cost of $1,000 to protect yourself against an unpredictable, variable risk that could cost you $20,000. It is the single smartest investment you can make on any winter charter trip. A good broker will present this to you as a standard option. A great broker will insist on it. The second step is to ask the right questions before you ever sign the contract. Ask your broker directly. What is the operator's specific policy on de-icing? Can you provide an estimate of potential de-icing costs at this airport based on historical data? And is hangar space available? And can we confirm it now? This forces the conversation and puts the onus on them to be transparent. In your contract, look for the de-icing clause. It will be there, likely under a section titled Ancillary Charges or Variable Costs. It will state plainly that the client is responsible for all de-icing fees. Read it, understand it, and know that the hangar is your shield against it. Now, what if you do everything right, you book the hangar, but a freak ice storm hits just before your departure and the plane still needs a light spray on the way to the runway? Can happen. If you get a bill, you have the right to audit it. Demand an itemized receipt from the FBO. It should clearly state the type of fluid used, the exact number of gallons, and the price per gallon. Cross-reference this with publicly available rates if you can. While it's rare, billing errors or even padded invoices can occur. You are the customer and you have the right to verify the charges. Don't be afraid to ask for the paperwork. By understanding what de-icing is, why it costs so much, and how to proactively mitigate the risk with a hangar, you transform it from an unknown, terrifying threat into a manageable line item. You take control back from the weather and put it back in your hands. You've learned how to beat the storm. But next you need to learn how to beat the schedule. Because the most expensive flight you pay for is often the one you're not even on. We're talking about the hidden costs that are baked into the very logistics of charter, the ones that have nothing to do with snow or ice, but everything to do with where your plane is and where it needs to be. These are the fees that pay for empty flights, and they can easily double the cost of your trip if you don't know how to outsmart them. Let's break down this shadow economy of private aviation. It all revolves around a simple, brutal reality. A private jet only makes money when it's in the air with paying passengers on board. Every other moment, sitting on the tarmac flying back to base is a cost. And the operator's number one goal is to make sure you, the customer, are covering those costs. The most common and most shocking of these fees is the repositioning fee, or repo fee for short. Imagine you live in New York, and you want to book a one-way flight to Miami for a weekend getaway. You find a beautiful jet base right there at Teterboro Airport in New Jersey. The charter company quotes you, let's say, $20,000. You book it, you have a fantastic flight, and you land in Miami feeling like a king. Your trip is over. But for the jet operator, the story has just begun. Their $20 million asset is now sitting in Miami, 400 miles from its home base and its next potential customer in New York. They have to get that plane back. So that jet flies from Miami all the way back to Teterboro completely empty. This is called an empty leg or a deadhead flight. That flight burns the same amount of fuel, requires the same 2 pilots, and incurs the same landing fees as your flight did. Who pays for it? You do. That $20,000 one-way quote likely included the cost of the empty return flight baked right in. You paid for 4 hours of flying even though you were only on board for 2. This is how a simple one-way trip costs nearly the same as a round trip. It's the single biggest source of sticker shock for first-time private flyers. So, how do you outsmart this system? The first and most straightforward way is to simply book a round trip. If you fly from New York to Miami on Friday and return on Sunday, the plane and crew will typically wait for you in Miami. There's no empty repositioning flight, so you're only paying for the flight hours you actually use, plus a little extra for the crew's layover. Now, this comes with its own caveat. The operator isn't going to let their multi-million-dollar jet sit idle for a week for free while you're on vacation. This is where you encounter daily minimums. Most operators will charge you for a minimum number of flight hours for each day the plane is dedicated to you, even if it isn't flying. This is usually around 2 hours per day. So, if your round trip from New York to Miami is 4 hours total, but you stay for 3 days, you might be billed for 6 hours of flight time, 2 hours minimum for each of the 3 days. It's still often cheaper than paying for a full repositioning flight, but you have to do the math. The round-trip strategy is perfect for short trips, like a weekend getaway or a 2-day business meeting. But what if you genuinely need a one-way flight? This is where the game gets interesting. This is where you can turn the operator's biggest problem, the empty leg, into your greatest advantage. Remember that empty flight from Miami back to New York? The operator is losing money on that flight. They are desperate to put anyone on that plane to recoup some of their costs for fuel and crew. They would rather sell that flight for 50% of the normal price than get 0%. This is your golden ticket. Booking an empty leg is the single best way to experience private aviation at a fraction of the cost. Discounts of 50 to 75% are common. You can find light jets for cross-country trips for the price of a first-class ticket. Sounds like a cheat code, and sometimes it is. But it comes with a massive set of trade-offs. You are sacrificing the number one reason people fly private in the first place: control. When you book an empty leg, you are on the operator's schedule, not yours. The flight is leaving from a specific airport to a specific airport on a specific day, often within a narrow time window. There is zero flexibility. If the flight is scheduled to leave at 10 a.m., you'd better be there. You can't call and say you're running 30 minutes late. The plane is repositioning for another, full-paying customer, and their schedule is the only one that matters. But the biggest risk, the one that makes empty legs a high-stakes gamble, is the risk of cancellation. Your empty leg flight only exists because another charter created it. If that primary charter, the one paying full price, changes their plans, your flight evaporates. Let's say you book a deeply discounted empty leg from Aspen to Los Angeles. It exists because a wealthy family booked a full-price flight from LA to Aspen. The night before your flight, that family decides to extend their ski trip by 2 days. They call the operator and move their flight. What happens to your empty leg? It's gone. Vanished. The operator will refund your money, of course, but now you're stuck in Aspen with no flight, trying to book a last-minute commercial ticket at an exorbitant price. For this reason, savvy travelers never rely on an empty leg for a must-make event, like a wedding, a crucial business meeting, or a cruise departure. It's a fantastic tool for spontaneous, flexible travel, but a dangerous one for rigid itineraries. So if round trips have their limits and empty legs have their risks, is there a third way? Yes, and it involves finding the right kind of operator. This is the strategy of the floating fleet. Some of the largest charter operators in the country don't have a single home base for their aircraft. Instead, they have a massive fleet that is constantly in motion between high-traffic hubs. Think New York, South Florida, Chicago, Dallas, and Southern California. Their business model is based on volume and constant movement. Because their planes are always floating between these major cities, they are much less likely to charge repositioning fees for flights between their key hubs. If you book a one-way on a floating fleet operator from New York to Miami, they aren't worried. They know their sales team will almost certainly book another high-paying trip for that jet out of Miami within a few hours. They eliminate the need for an empty return flight by having a constant stream of demand in their major service areas. Booking with one of these operators can be the holy grail for one-way travel. You get the convenience and control of a full charter without the punishing cost of repositioning. The challenge is that these operators are often larger and can be more expensive on a per-hour basis, but for one-way trips, the total cost can be dramatically lower. Finding these opportunities, the right round-trip calculation, the perfect empty leg, or a floating fleet operator, is the core job of a good charter broker. They have the software and the network to see where all the planes are, where they're going, and which flight might be a hidden bargain. They can tell you if it's cheaper to pay for 2 days of daily minimums, or to just book 2 separate one-ways on 2 different empty legs. Understanding how to navigate these 3 options is the difference between paying a fair price and paying double. It's the fundamental secret to making private aviation work for you, instead of just for the operator. You've now learned how to manage the cost of the aircraft's physical journey. But there's another cost, a human cost, that is just as critical and just as easy to overlook. You've figured out the plane, you've figured out the route, but you haven't accounted for the 2 most important people on board: their time, their food, their hotel rooms, and their overtime. Next, we'll break down the hidden world of crew costs, and how a simple weather delay can send your bills spiraling out of control. When you charter a private jet, you're not just hiring pilots. You are retaining a highly skilled, federally regulated flight crew for the entire duration of your trip. Their day doesn't start when the engines spool up, and it doesn't end when the wheels touch down. It starts hours before with pre-flight checks, weather briefings, and flight planning. It ends long after you've stepped into your waiting car, with post-flight procedures and securing the aircraft. And every single minute in between is governed by a strict set of rules designed for one thing: your safety. The most critical concept to understand here is the difference between flight time and duty time. Flight time is exactly what it sounds like, the time the aircraft is actually in the air. But duty time is the real currency of aviation. For a pilot, the duty clock starts ticking the moment they report for your trip. The Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, has ironclad limits on how long that duty day can be. Typically around 14 hours. Within that 14-hour window, there are further restrictions on how many hours they can actually be at the controls. Why? Fatigue. A tired pilot is a dangerous pilot. These rules are written in the ink of lessons learned from tragic accidents. They are non-negotiable. An airline can't ask a pilot to fly just 1 more hour to get home, and neither can your charter operator. Now let's see how this plays out in the real world. Imagine you've booked a day trip from New York to Chicago for a critical business meeting. The plan is to leave at 8 a.m., land in Chicago, have a 4-hour meeting, and be back in New York for dinner. A simple, clean trip. Your crew reports for duty at 6 a.m. to prepare the aircraft. Their 14-hour duty clock starts now. That means by FAA law, they must be pencils down and off duty by 8 p.m. Your flight to Chicago is 2 hours. You land, you head to your meeting. Everything's on schedule, but then the negotiations hit a snag. Your 4-hour meeting turns into 5, then 6, then 7 hours. You finally wrap up, exhausted but successful, and head back to the airport. But now it's 7 p.m. New York time. The return flight is 2 hours. Add in the time to get the plane ready, and you'll be landing well after your crew's duty day legally ends. They cannot fly you home. It's not a choice, it's the law. Suddenly, your simple day trip has become an expensive overnight stay. The charter operator now has to find hotel rooms for 2 pilots. They get a per diem, a daily allowance for meals and expenses. Your jet, which was supposed to be back in New York for another client's flight the next morning, is now stuck in Chicago with you. This is where the costs begin to cascade. The operator has 2 choices. First, they can let the crew get their legally required rest, typically a minimum of 10 hours, and fly you home the next morning. This means you're paying for the crew's overnight stay, their meals, and you're also paying for the jet to sit on the ground overnight. We'll get to those parking fees later. Plus, you've just lost a night at home and disrupted your own schedule. The second option is even more expensive. If you absolutely have to get back that night, the operator has to initiate what's called a crew swap. They will scramble to find 2 fresh, rested pilots. They'll buy them last-minute, full-fare commercial airline tickets to Chicago. They'll get them to the airport, take over the jet, and fly you home. Now you are paying for 4 pilots. You're paying for the original crew's duty day, their hotel in Chicago, and their commercial flights back to New York the next day. And you're paying for the new crew's commercial flights to Chicago and their time to fly you home. A 3-hour delay in a meeting just potentially doubled your crew costs and added thousands in logistical fees. This isn't a penalty. It's the operational cost of safety and flexibility. When you charter a jet, you're buying control over your schedule, but that control operates within the rigid framework of federal aviation regulations. Now, what about a weather delay? Say a sudden blizzard hits Aspen right as you're supposed to depart. The airport closes. You're stuck. In this case, it's an act of God, not a client-induced delay. But the financial reality is similar. The crew is still on duty, their clock is still ticking. If the delay is long enough, they will time out. They'll need to go to a hotel for their mandatory rest period. The costs for their accommodation and per diem still have to be paid. Who pays? It depends on your charter agreement, but most often, these costs are passed on to the client. The weather is outside the operator's control, but the crew's expenses are a hard cost of the trip that must be covered. Let's talk about those per diems. It's an industry standard practice. When a flight crew is on a multi-day trip with you, they receive a daily allowance to cover their meals and incidental expenses. It's not an exorbitant amount, often ranging from $150 to $300 per crew member per day, depending on the city. For a 2-pilot crew on a 4-day trip, that's an extra $1,000 to $2,000 right there, just for their food and basic expenses. It's a predictable cost, but one that first-time charter clients might not anticipate. Another hidden aspect of crew cost is the daily minimum. Pilots are highly compensated professionals. A charter operator can't afford to have them on duty for 10 hours just to fly a single 45-minute flight from Miami to the Bahamas. To make it economically viable, most operators have a daily minimum flight time charge. This is typically 2 hours. So, even if your actual flight is only 45 minutes, you will be billed for 2 hours of flight time. This ensures that the crew's compensation for the day is worthwhile and covers the entirety of their duty period, not just the short time they spend in the air. It's the system that allows the economics of short-haul private flights to work. And what about the flight attendant? On light jets, they're often optional. On mid-size and larger jets, they're usually required. A great flight attendant is far more than just someone who serves champagne and catering. They are trained safety professionals. They are certified in CPR, first aid, and the use of an automated external defibrillator. They know how to manage an emergency evacuation, operate the emergency exits, and deploy the life rafts. Their primary job is safety. The 5-star service is the incredible bonus. Adding a flight attendant to your charter will, of course, increase the cost. You're paying for another highly trained professional's time, their hotel, and their per diem. But for longer flights or for those who want the highest level of service and an added layer of safety, they are absolutely worth it. So, the crew is the beating heart of your charter experience. Their professionalism is what makes private aviation so seamless and safe. But their time is a valuable and strictly regulated commodity. Understanding the dynamics of duty days, overnights, per diems, and daily minimums is crucial. It transforms these hidden costs into understandable logical components of a complex logistical puzzle. These aren't fees designed to gouge you. They are the fundamental costs of ensuring that the 2 people at the front of the plane are always rested, sharp, and ready to handle any situation, giving you the safest and most reliable passage possible. So you've paid for the jet, you've paid for the crew. But your plane isn't just sitting on the main runway at JFK. It's tucked away in a private, luxurious world all its own. Next, we'll pull back the curtain on the exclusive universe of FBOs and the surprising costs of just parking your jet on the ground. This exclusive world is the domain of the FBO, or fixed base operator. And if you think of a private jet as the ultimate luxury vehicle, the FBO is its 5-star hotel, its private garage, and its VIP concierge, all rolled into one impeccably polished package. Forget everything you know about commercial airports. On top of the ramp fee, there's often a facility fee. This is a charge for using their luxurious lounge, their concierge services, and their staff. Think of it as a resort fee for your airplane. This can be another few hundred to a few $1,000s, depending on the size of your aircraft and the prestige of the FBO. Now, here's an insider tip. These fees can sometimes be waived. FBOs make the bulk of their money on one thing: fuel. Jet fuel is their lifeblood. So they often have a policy where if you purchase a certain minimum amount of fuel, they will waive the facility or ramp fees. This creates a fascinating game of logistics for charter operators. They have to calculate if it's cheaper to pay the fees, or to buy, say, 500 gallons of overpriced fuel they might not even need for the next leg of the journey. And let's talk about that fuel. It is, by far, the single biggest variable cost in any charter flight. The FBO doesn't just sell you fuel at the market rate. They add a significant markup, often called an into-plane fee. They have to store the fuel, maintain the fuel trucks, and pay the highly trained staff who handle the refueling process. This means the price you pay per gallon at the FBO can be double, or even triple the posted price for Jet A fuel. On a long-haul flight, a heavy jet can take on over 5,000 gallons. If the FBO's markup is just $2 per gallon, a conservative estimate, that's an extra $10,000 added to the bill, just for the privilege of fueling up at their facility. Then there are the ancillary services which can ambush a budget. Flying out of Aspen in January? You're going to need de-icing. This isn't optional. It's a critical safety requirement to remove any ice or snow from the wings and control surfaces. The process involves spraying the aircraft with a specialized, heated glycol fluid. Depending on the size of the jet and the severity of the weather, a single de-icing procedure can cost anywhere from $2,000 to over $20,000. It's a non-negotiable charge that can appear on the final bill, shocking anyone unfamiliar with cold weather operations. Other services add up too. Need the aircraft cleaned? There's a fee. Need the onboard lavatory serviced? That's another charge. Need specialized international handling for a tricky destination? That's a significant expense. The FBO is the central nervous system for all ground-based logistics, and every single service from the GPU, the ground power unit that provides electricity to the plane on the ramp, to the air start unit needed to fire up the engines, comes with a line item on the invoice. This intricate web of fees is why the quote you receive for a charter flight is often an estimate. The operator can predict the flight time and crew costs, but they can't always predict the final bill from the FBO. A last-minute change in weather, an unexpected delay requiring an extra night of parking, or a larger-than-expected fuel uplift can add thousands of dollars to the cost in the blink of an eye. The FBO is where the fantasy of effortless flight meets the cold, hard reality of its operational costs. It's a world built on providing unparalleled convenience, where time is the ultimate luxury and every minute saved has a very specific and very high price tag. But all these ground fees, as astronomical as they are merely the cost of entry. They are the cover charge for the main event. Because once the chocks are pulled, the cabin door is sealed, and you hear the powerful whine of those jet engines spooling to life. A whole new level of bespoke service and operational expense begins. Next, we leave the ground behind and climb to 41,000 feet to explore the world inside the cabin, where the crew, the connectivity, and the catering create an experience that truly redefines the meaning of flight. As the wheels retract into the fuselage, the world outside the polished oval window begins to shrink. The rumbling vibration of the runway gives way to a smooth, powerful ascent. This is the moment of transition. You're no longer just traveling. You are suspended in a meticulously crafted environment, a sanctuary of privacy and control gliding through the stratosphere. This cabin is more than just a space between two destinations. It's the very heart of the private aviation promise. And at the core of that promise are the people dedicated to perfecting your journey. The crew. On a commercial flight, the crew's primary role is safety and service for hundreds. Here, their role is personalized excellence for you. Your two pilots, often with thousands more hours of flight time in this specific aircraft type than is typical in the commercial world, are more than just aviators. They are masters of meteorology, logistics, and atmospheric dynamics. They're not just flying from point A to B. They are actively seeking the smoothest, most efficient path through the sky, constantly communicating with air traffic control to find shortcuts and better altitudes, shaving precious minutes off your travel time while ensuring a ride so serene you could balance a full champagne flute on your fold-out table. Their calm, confident voices over the intercom, providing brief, professional updates, are a constant reassurance that you are in the most capable hands in the industry. But the most visible face of this dedication is your cabin attendant. This individual is not merely a flight attendant. They are a blend of a five-star hotel concierge, a personal assistant, and a master of intuitive service. Their training goes far beyond safety procedures and serving drinks. They are experts in discretion, cultural etiquette, and proactive hospitality. They learn your preferences before you even step on board. They know you prefer sparkling water with a slice of lime, not lemon. They know your children's favorite snacks. They've already set the cabin temperature to your preferred 72 degrees. Their true magic lies in their ability to anticipate needs you haven't yet articulated. A subtle glance at your laptop might prompt a quiet offer of a charging cable. A slight shiver and a warm cashmere blanket appears, draped gently over your lap. They are the invisible hand that keeps your world in perfect order. Need a last-minute dinner reservation at a Michelin-starred restaurant at your destination? They're on the sat phone with the ground team making it happen. Forgot a gift for a business associate you're meeting upon arrival? They can arrange for something to be sourced and waiting for you. This level of service transforms the cabin from a mode of transport into a fully functional, highly personalized extension of your life and office. They are the curators of your comfort, ensuring that the only thing you need to focus on is what's important to you. And in today's world, what's often most important is staying connected. The frustration of spotty, sluggish commercial airline Wi-Fi is a universal pain point. It's a compromise we've been forced to accept. But in this cabin, compromise is not in the vocabulary. The connectivity here is a different species entirely. Leveraging advanced satellite technology, like Ka-band and Ku-band systems, the aircraft becomes a true office in the sky. We're not talking about the ability to slowly load an email. We're talking about high-speed, high-bandwidth internet that mirrors what you'd expect in your corporate headquarters. You can host a multi-person video conference with your team in Tokyo without a single glitch. You can stream a 4K movie for your family as if you were in your home theater. You can conduct sensitive, high-stakes negotiations in real time, with the confidence that your connection is both stable and secure. This seamless digital bridge to the world below is a game-changer. It fundamentally alters the value of travel time. What was once a disconnected limbo of lost hours becomes some of the most productive, focused time in your schedule. The quiet, private environment, free from the distractions of a crowded cabin, combined with powerful connectivity, creates a unique productivity bubble. Deals are closed, strategies are formed, and presentations are perfected, all while cruising at 41,000 feet. The technology extends beyond just the internet. Modern cabin management systems allow you to control your entire environment from a tablet or your own smartphone. You can dim the electrochromic windows, adjust the full-spectrum LED lighting to match your circadian rhythm, and select entertainment on multiple high-definition screens. It's a smart home, a smart office, and a luxury suite, all in one. Of course, no luxury experience is complete without exceptional dining. And this is where private aviation truly separates itself from any other form of travel. Forget prepackaged meals and limited choices. Onboard catering is a blank canvas, limited only by your imagination. The process begins during your charter booking. The question isn't what are our options, but rather, what is your absolute favorite meal in the world? Do you crave the specific black cod with miso from Nobu? The operations team will coordinate directly with the restaurant to have it freshly prepared, specially packaged for aviation, and delivered to the aircraft just before your departure. Are you celebrating an anniversary and want the exact champagne you had on your wedding night? They will source that specific vintage. Are you on a strict dietary plan requiring complex, specially prepared meals? A dedicated culinary team or a high-end caterer specializing in aviation will craft a menu to your exact specifications, ensuring every ingredient is perfect. The presentation is just as important as the taste. Your meal is not served on a plastic tray. It's presented on fine china, with polished silverware and crystal glassware. The cabin attendant, often with experience in fine dining, serves each course with impeccable timing and grace. You can enjoy a multi-course tasting menu, a simple, comforting favorite, or a spread of gourmet snacks. The galley, though compact, is equipped with ovens, refrigerators, and sometimes even espresso machines, allowing for the final preparation and plating to be done to restaurant quality standards. This transforms a meal in the air from a necessity into a memorable event. It's the ultimate expression of personalization, turning the cabin into your own private skytop restaurant, where the menu is whatever you desire, and the view is always spectacular. This trifecta of crew, connectivity, and catering creates an ecosystem of unparalleled control and comfort. It's an environment where your time is respected, your needs are anticipated, and your expectations are consistently exceeded. It is a world away from the queues, the compromises, and the chaos of modern commercial travel. But this perfectly controlled environment, this sanctuary in the sky, must eventually return to Earth. The final phase of the journey, the descent and arrival, is where the seamless experience comes full circle, proving that how you arrive is just as important as how you flew. The gentle shift in the engine's tone is the first signal. It's a subtle change, a decrease in the powerful hum that has been the constant soundtrack to your journey through the stratosphere. The captain's voice, calm and reassuring, comes over the cabin's private address system, not with the crackle and formality of a commercial flight, but with the personalized tone of a concierge. He informs you that you've begun your initial descent. Outside the panoramic windows, the world, once a hazy blue curvature, begins to resolve itself. The abstract quilt of fields and towns sharpens into a detailed map. You see highways, then cars, then individual buildings, the planet rushing up to meet you not in a jarring hurried drop, but in a graceful controlled glide. This is the final act of the symphony, and it's performed with the same precision and elegance as the overture. There is no frantic stowing of bags, no flight attendants rushing to collect last-minute service items. You simply remain in your leather seat, perhaps finishing a conversation or taking one last sip of coffee, as the aircraft banks smoothly, aligning itself with a runway that, from this vantage point, looks like a private welcome mat laid out just for you. The landing itself is often imperceptible. A soft kiss of the tires on the tarmac, a gentle deceleration. The powerful, complex machine has become weightless again, its purpose fulfilled. But the experience is far from over. As the jet taxis, it doesn't head towards a sprawling, chaotic terminal building. It bypasses them entirely, gliding towards a quiet, discreet building on the far side of the airfield, the Fixed Base Operator, or FBO. This is the private terminal, the VIP gateway that is the bookend to the one you departed from. Before the engines have fully spooled down, you see it. Your prearranged car, not in a distant parking garage, but right there on the tarmac, just feet from the aircraft steps. The cabin door opens and the fresh air of your destination fills the cabin. You descend the stairs and there is no jet bridge, no long walk down endless corridors, no following signs for baggage claim. Your luggage is being transferred directly from the aircraft's hold into the trunk of your car by the ground crew. The pilot is often there at the bottom of the stairs to shake your hand and wish you well. In less than 5 minutes from touchdown, you can be seated in your vehicle pulling away from the airfield, rejoining the world on your own schedule. There are no lines for customs or immigration. A representative meets you discreetly at the FBO, processing your entry with quiet efficiency, often in a private lounge while you wait for your car. There is no baggage carousel, no agonizing wait, no sea of identical black roller bags. There is only a seamless, frictionless transition from your sanctuary in the sky to your destination on the ground. This is the final, powerful statement of private aviation. It respects your time above all else. The hours saved aren't just in the air. They are meticulously preserved on the ground, at both the beginning and the end of your journey. But the true value of the experience doesn't end when the car door closes. It lingers. It's in the mental clarity you have because you weren't subjected to the stress and anxiety of a commercial airport. It's in the productivity gained from being able to conduct sensitive business meetings in a secure, private environment at 35,000 feet. Imagine a CEO flying from New York to a crucial negotiation in Los Angeles. On a commercial flight, that's a day lost to travel, noise, and interruptions. On a private charter, those 5 hours become a flying boardroom. The deal can be finalized, the strategy perfected so that when they land they are not just rested, they are prepared to win. Or think of a family, a trip to a national park or a remote island. The journey itself becomes part of the vacation, not a stressful hurdle to overcome. Children aren't confined and restless. They have space to be comfortable. The trip begins the moment they step onto the jet, creating a cohesive, joyful memory from start to finish. The value isn't just in the luxury. It's in the quality of the experience, the preservation of energy, and the creation of memories that aren't tainted by the friction of modern travel. Now, it's easy to dismiss this world as the exclusive domain of billionaires and royalty. And while they are certainly a part of it, the reality of private aviation is more nuanced, more accessible than most people imagine. The on-demand charter, which we've focused on, is the most flexible model. You pay for a specific trip just like booking an Uber, but for a jet. This is often how businesses and groups of individuals access private flight without the commitment of ownership. Then you have jet cards. Think of it as a debit card for flight hours. You purchase a card for, say, 25 hours on a specific size of jet. This gives you guaranteed availability and a fixed hourly rate, providing predictability for more frequent flyers. Moving up the ladder, there's fractional ownership. Here, you actually buy a share of a specific aircraft. If you buy a 1/8 share, you get access to that jet, or an identical one in the fleet for a corresponding number of hours per year, typically around 100. You share the acquisition and maintenance costs with other owners, getting many of the benefits of full ownership without the sole financial and logistical burden. And then there's the entry point for many, The empty leg. This is the secret menu of private aviation. When a jet is booked for a one-way flight, it often has to fly back to its home base or to its next pickup point. From the first phone call to a broker, to the moment your car pulls away from the FBO, the private jet charter experience is a masterclass in personalized service and logistical excellence. It's a system designed to remove every point of friction from the process of travel. It transforms a journey from a necessary evil into an integral, even enjoyable part of the overall objective. It's a tool for business, a vessel for priceless family memories, and a statement of control over one's own schedule. It's the ultimate life hack for those whose time is their most valuable asset. The next time you look up and see the clean white lines of a private jet carving a silent path across the deep blue sky, you won't just see an aircraft. You'll understand the ecosystem behind it. You'll see a flying boardroom, a family's living room, a sanctuary of peace. You'll see a story of efficiency, privacy, and control, unfolding from tarmac to sky and back again. You'll see the journey perfected,